The young boy stepped up to face the small board being held by his teacher. It was his turn to break the board with a kick from his heel. He kicked. His heel lightly touched the board and nothing happened. He kicked again. He looked around at the other students in the class, many of whom had already successfully broken the board with one swift kick. No one said a word. His teacher said, "Phoenix, you're touching the board too lightly. Come on, try it again." Phoenix began to cry. There was no other sound in the room except the soothing voice of his teacher. One more miss, and Phoenix was sobbing. His teacher coached him on. "Phoenix, you can do this. Come on, you can do anything." With his shoulders heaving as he sobbed, Phoenix gave the board one more kick, and the board cracked in half. The room exploded with cheers as the other students leaped to their feet, giving him high fives and embracing him, the boy who had persevered. Young Phoenix was surrounded by his tribe, a group of students and a teacher who supported and believed in him. A tribe is a community which has shared interests and provides support to its members. A tribe can include family members, but it's not limited to them. Friends, co-workers, neighbors, pets, and many others can comprise our tribes. A tribe might contain several people, or it might contain two. In addition to our tribe here at Entry Point, I have a theater tribe, a workout tribe, a teacher's tribe, and a card-playing tribe. I know that I could call upon any member of any of those tribes to be helped or supported. I also know that each of the members of those tribes could call on me at any time of the night or day, and I would be there for them. Of course, some of my tribes have been around longer than others, and I have deeper relationships with some of them. Others, like my workout tribe, are so new that I'm still learning their first and their last names. We are born wired for connection. When our ancestors roamed the land for food, moving in numbers was vital to safety and survival. Early settlers in the United States had to rely on each other to survive harsh weather, kind of like today, and living conditions. However, as America prospered, our dependence on each other for survival diminished. As our physical need for each other has grown less and less and has dissolved, we often find ourselves isolated and disconnected from other people emotionally. As adults, we no longer have the automatic built-in connections that children in elementary school have. As they begin to understand tribes, they find it in the safety of their classrooms and their sports teams or playing with the neighborhood children. Middle school and high school students find their tribes in their performing groups and in sports and in hobbies. But as we age, finding our people, finding our tribe becomes more difficult. Once young adults leave the family home, they often experience physical disconnection from the major sources of support that they had: their parents, their siblings, their childhood friends. Phone calls and texting help bridge the gap a little bit, but it doesn't replace human contact. College and the workplace creates opportunity for tribe building, but this process becomes more challenging as we age because we move and we develop families of our own, and then we live in houses far apart from each other. And we know today that in most cases, we don't need a community to meet our basic needs. If we need food, we go to the grocery store. If we need a tool, we rent it or we buy it online. Many of us lead very busy lives, and we can hardly maintain the friendships that we already have, but we need friends. We need other people. We need people to care about and to care for us. We need a tribe. Jane Howard writes, call it a clan, call it a network, call it a tribe, call it a family, whatever you call it. Whoever you are, you need one. So where do we get a tribe? Well, I think you find your tribe by following your passion, or as one of my tribe friends puts it, by following your bliss. What things sing to your heart? Books, music, motorcycles, sports, cars, movies? The list is endless. Physically, I think we should start with our physical neighbors. Too often we don't take time to get to know the people who live in the houses right around us. And maybe there are some great friendships waiting under those roofs. The long-term friendships that Marcy and I have with our neighbors on either side of us became very evident when we had a celebration of life for her mother back in February. Both of those neighbors came and stayed for the entire 4-hour event. They were there to support us in a difficult time of loss. Despite our electronic age of screens, it's still difficult to find people who share our common interests and our hobbies. We can sometimes find announcements about groups that are going to physically meet in newspapers or online, but the hard part is mustering up the courage to go and meet strangers who could become tribe members. Sometimes if we just take one friend with us, it's a little bit easier. We often find our tribes in spiritual communities. We are likely to find a common value and belief system when we're spending time together in a faith community like Entry Point. Our community here, our tribe, is filled with acceptance and love. Take a moment and consider the friendships that are available right here in this room. And finally, I think that volunteering is an excellent opportunity to meet like-minded people. There are many chances to find our tribe when we're willing to open up and meet those around us who are concerned about the same issues that we are. Marriage and family therapist Shelley Bullard wrote an intriguing article in which she described her process of finding a tribe. She admitted one day to herself that she realized she was preventing herself from finding a tribe because she had the wrong vibe. Shelley was very, very lonely, and she was ashamed that she felt lonely. And so she, as a therapist, decided to figure out how to address that issue. She allowed herself to fully feel her loneliness and to accept it as just a feeling, not the definition of her life. And then she was able to let go of it and move on to the next step, which was to ask herself, what did she want in friendships? So as she thought about and explored what she wanted in friendships, she made a list. And she discovered that she wanted friends who were spiritual because spirituality was important to her. It was the center of her life. She wanted to feel known and seen and heard and understood. She wanted to feel supported and cared for, and she kept writing the list, and she wanted to give that back to other people. She wanted to be friends with people who wanted to become better people. And then she moved to the third and sometimes most difficult step. She had to let go and trust that the universe would allow those friendships to come to her. She had discovered the problem, she had adjusted her vibe, and she was willing to sit back and wait for her tribe. And over the next several months, she found them. It was at volunteering. It was at different places where she connected with strangers, and she took the risk to speak and make a connection. And today she is ever so grateful that she followed those steps. My theater tribe was formed when we were all cast in a show together 6 years ago. We weren't necessarily looking for each other at all. Our bond just evolved over time and through shared events and communication. We support each other by attending each other's shows. We encourage each other when we don't get cast or get involved in the project that we wanted to be in. We help each other when we are struggling in our personal lives. We have supported each other through victories and through losses. One of our theater tribe members said that she finds it easier to be in relationship with us than with the men that she is dating. She finds it easier to give to us because we have given to her. I asked her, how does a person give to a tribe? And she replied, show up, invest time and effort, be present, be supportive, and ask what is valued, what is needed. That sounds like a great recipe for an incredible relationship to me. In Proverbs 27:17, we are reminded that iron sharpens iron, and friends sharpen friends. The support of a tribe can evolve into a beautiful display of unconditional love in a judgment-free, safe zone. If we are fortunate enough to experience that kind of tribe, we become better people, and we develop more compassion in all of our relationships. Our tribe offers us grace, acceptance, belonging, and support. We grow, and then we are healed by that love. And in turn, we are better able to love others. If you have a tribe, or several tribes, you are indeed fortunate. Be grateful for them. But if you don't have a tribe just yet, I encourage you to go find one. Amen. Sasha Jones has written, we all want to experience a sense of community, to have a group of like-minded people speaking the same language, who are on the same page, supporting each other as a collective, sharing ideas, interests, and working in harmony, be it professional, personal, or other. Who we are creates who we meet. So go meet some tribe members right here at Entry Point, in your neighborhood, or anywhere else you can find your people. Adjust your vibe so you can find your tribe. Amen.